Have you ever wondered what it would be like to stare death in the face? To be swallowed by one of the largest creatures on Earth and live to tell the tale? This isn't a scene from a movie. It happened in real life to a man named Adrian Simancas. You see, on February 8, 2025, Adrian was kayaking with his father, Del, off the coast of Chile. The area is famous for its beautiful waters and large marine animals including whales. That day, the water was calm, the weather was nice, and it was supposed to be a peaceful day on the ocean. But in a couple of seconds, everything changed. Ever since he was a kid, Adrian loved the ocean. He had been kayaking for years and had never had any problems. And on that unfortunate day, he and his father were simply enjoying the view paddling side by side when the first sign came. The water got rough out of nowhere. Waves started forming around their kayaks. And the birds? Well, they just vanished. You see, Adrian didn't know it yet, but something huge was rising beneath him. But his father knew something was wrong. Still, before he could warn his son and call him back, the ocean exploded. A massive humpback whale shot up from the water. Its jaws were wide open as it went forward and right towards Adrian. And before he could scream or paddle away, he felt himself being pulled into the darkness. "I felt a strange texture, like something slimy," Adrian later said. Then everything went black. According to the kayaker, 1 second, he was in his kayak, and the next, he was inside the whale's mouth. Now, inside the whale, Adrian couldn't see anything. It was dark, wet, and terrifying. Water crashed around him as the giant whale pulled him under. The only thought on his mind was that he was going to die. Adrian's heart raced. He tried to move, but the whale's tongue pinned him and his kayak down. It felt like being trapped inside a huge, moving cave. During all this time, his father watched in shock, screaming while recording everything. Del had fixed a camera to the back of his kayak to record the rising waves, but ended up capturing his son's remarkable experience. Adrian tried to scream too, but the water swallowed his voice. He couldn't do anything. He was completely helpless. In a couple of seconds, his life had completely changed. But then, something incredible happened. The whale came to the surface and spat him out. Adrian felt himself shooting through the water as if he were being thrown out of a tunnel. He landed in the ocean and started to gasp for air. It was at this moment his father paddled towards him as fast as he could while shouting his name. Adrian grabbed onto the kayak and was coughing and shaking, but he was alive. "I couldn't believe it," he said later. "1 second I was inside a whale, and the next I was free." On the other hand, the whale disappeared under the waves. It had no idea how much chaos it had just caused. Now, experts say that Adrian's encounter was a freak accident, all because humpback whales are not dangerous to humans. They eat tiny fish and krill by opening their mouths wide and sucking in water. They don't attack people. Marine biologist Roched Jacobson Seba explained, "This whale was just feeding, and Adrian got caught by mistake. And guess what? Humpback whales can't even swallow a human because their throats are too small. This just means that Adrian was never in danger of being digested." But that doesn't make the experience any less terrifying. The kayaker had survived the impossible. When Adrian and his father finally reached land, they were in shock. People around the world couldn't believe it. Some even compared it to Pinocchio, the classic story where a boy gets swallowed by a whale. Adrian himself joked about it later. "It felt like I was in a movie," he said. But even with all the jokes going around, he admitted that the experience was the scariest moment of his life. And even after everything that has happened, Adrian says he still loves the ocean. But now, he's a little more careful. "We will definitely keep our distance from whales from now on," he said. "They're amazing creatures, but they're also huge." However, his father is still a bit unsure about the future. "I don't know if I'll ever go back out there," he admitted. "But Adrian, he's already planning his next trip. I won't let fear stop me," he said. "But I'll always remember what happened." At the end of the day, Adrian's story is a rare and incredible reminder of just how powerful nature can be. Whales don't mean to hurt people, but they are giants compared to us. Adrian was lucky. He survived something almost no one else has ever experienced. And now, his story will live on forever. That's it from my side, guys. What would you do if you found yourself swallowed by a whale? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbelievable stories.